You are listening to the BIAYL Live Book of Enoch project, and today we'll continue in Book 4, Chapter 2, and we'll pick up at verse 54 and read to the end of Chapter 2. Let's dive in. And if 5 years are added together, the sun has an overplus of 30 days, and all the days which occur to it for one of those 5 years, when they are full, amount to 364 days. And the overplus of the sun and of the stars amount to 6 days. In 5 years, 6 days every year come to 30 days, and the moon falls behind the sun and stars to the number of 30 days. And the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly, so that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto eternity, but complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days. In 3 years there are 1,092 days, and in 5 years 1,820 days, so that in 8 years there are 2,912 days. For the moon alone, the days amount to 3 years, to 1,062 days, and in 5 years she falls 50 days behind the sun. There is 5 to be added 62 days. And in 5 years there are 1,770 days, so that for the moon, the days 6 in 8 years amount to 21,832 days. For in 8 years she falls behind to the amount of 80 days. All the 17 days she falls behind in 8 years are 80. And the year is accurately completed in conformity with their world stations and the stations of the sun, which rise from the portals through which it rises and sets 30 days. And the leaders of the heads of the thousands, who are placed over the whole creation and over all the stars, have also to do with the 4 intercalary days, being inseparable from their office, according to the reckoning of the year. And these render service on the 4 days which are not reckoned in the reckoning of the year. And owing to them, men go wrong therein, for those luminaries truly render service on the world stations, one in the first portal, one in the third portal of the heaven, one in the fourth portal, and one in the sixth portal. And the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. For the signs and the times and the years and the days the angel Uriel showed me, whom the Lord of glory had set forever over all the luminaries of the heaven, in the heaven and in the world, that they should rule on the face of the heaven and be seen on the earth, and be leaders for the day and the night, and all the ministering creatures which make their revolution in all the chariots of the heaven. In like manner, 12 doors Uriel showed me open in the circumference of the sun's chariot to the heaven, through which the rays of the sun break forth, and from them is warmth diffused over the earth when they are opened at their appointed seasons. And for the winds and the spirit of the dew, when they are opened, standing open in the heavens at the ends. As for the 12 portals in the heaven at the ends of the earth, out of which go forth the sun, moon, and stars, and all the works of heaven in the east and in the west. There are many windows open to the left and right of them, and one window at its season produces warmth, corresponding to those doors from which the stars come forth, according as he has commanded them, and wherein they set corresponding to their number. And I saw chariots in the heaven, running in the world, above those portals in which revolve the stars that never set. And one is larger than all the rest, and is that makes its course through the entire world. And at the ends of the earth I saw 12 portals open to all the quarters from which the winds go forth and blow over the earth. 3 of them are open on the face of the heavens, and 3 in the west, and 3 on the right of the heaven, and 3 on the left. And the 3 first are those of the east, and 3 are of the north, and 3 after those on the left of the south, and 3 of the west. Through 4 of these come winds of blessing, and prosperity, and from those 8 come heartful winds when they are sent. They bring destruction on all the earth, and on the water upon it, and on all who dwell thereon, and on everything which is in the water and on the land. And the first wind from those portals, called east wind, comes forth through the first portal, which is the east, inclining toward the south. From it come forth desolation, drought, heat, and destruction. And through the second portal in the middle comes what is fitting. And from it there come rain and fruitfulness and prosperity and dew. And through the third portal, which lies toward the north, come cold and drought. And after these come forth the south winds through 3 portals. Through the first portal of them, inclining to the east, comes forth a hot wind. And through the middle portal next to it, there come forth fragrant smells, and dew and rain, and prosperity and health. And through the third portal lying to the west come forth dew and rain, locust and desolation. And after these, the north winds from the seventh portal in the east come dew and rain, locust and desolation. And from the middle portal come in a direct direction, health and rain, and dew and prosperity. And through the third portal in the west come cloud and hoarfrost, and snow and rain, and dew and locust. And after these 4 are the west winds. Through the first portal adjoining the north come forth dew and hoarfrost, and cold and snow and frost. And from the middle portal come forth dew and rain, and prosperity and blessing. And through the last portal, which adjoins the south, come forth drought and desolation, and burning and destruction. And the 12 portals of the 4 quarters of the heaven are therewith completed, and all their laws, and all their plagues, and all their benefactions have I shown to thee, my son Methuselah. And the first quarter is called the east, because it is the first, and the second the south, because the Most High will descend there. Yea, there in quite a special sense will he who is blessed forever descend. And the west quarter is named the diminished, because there all the luminaries of the heaven wane and go down. And the fourth quarter, named the north, is divided into 3 parts. The first of them is for the dwelling of men. The second contains seas of waters, and the abyss, and forests, and rivers, and darkness, and clouds. And the third part contains the garden of righteousness. I saw 7 high mountains, higher than all the mountains which are on the earth, and thence comes forth hoarfrost, and days, seasons, and years pass away. I saw 7 rivers on the earth, larger than all the rivers. One of them coming from the west pours its waters into the great sea. And these 2 come from the north to the sea, and pour their waters into the Erythraean Sea in the east. And the remaining 4 come forth on the side of the north to their own sea, 2 of them to the Erythraean Sea, and 2 into the great sea, and discharge themselves there, and some say into the desert. Even great islands I saw in the sea, and in the mainland, 2 in the mainland, and 5 in the great sea. And the names of the sun are the following: the first Orgeres, and the second Thomas. And the moon has 4 names. The first name is Asanja, the second Elba, the third Benasse, and the fourth Irai. These are the 2 great luminaries. Their circumference is like the circumference of the heaven, and the size of the circumference of both is alike. In the circumference of the sun there are 7 portions of light, which are added to it more than to the moon. And in definite measure it is transferred till the 7th portion of the sun is exhausted. And they set and enter the portals of the west, and make their revolution by the north, and come forth through the eastern portals on the face of the heavens. And when the moon rises, 1/14th part appears in the heaven, and the light becomes full in her. On the 14th day she accomplishes her light, and the 15 parts of light are transferred to her till the 15th day her light is accomplished, according to the sign of the year, and she becomes 15 parts, and the moon grows by 14 parts. And in her waning decreases on the first day to 14 parts of her light. and on the second to 13 parts of light, on the third to 12, on the fourth to 11, on the fifth to 10, on the sixth to 9, on the seventh to 8, on the eighth to 7th, on the ninth to 6, on the 10th to 5, on the 11th to 4, on the 12th to 3, on the 13th to 2, on the 14th to the half of a seventh, and all her remaining light disappears wholly on the 15th. And in certain months, the month has 29 days, and once 28. And Uriel showed me another law when light is transferred to the moon, and on which side it is transferred to her by the sun. During all the period during which the moon is growing in her light, she is transferring it to herself when opposite to the sun. During 14-day share, light is accomplished in the heaven, and when she is illuminated throughout, her light is accomplished full in the heaven. And on the first day she is called the new moon, for on that day the light rises upon her. She becomes full moon exactly on the day when the sun sets in the west, and from the east she rises at night, and the moon shines the whole night through till the sun rises over against her, and the moon is seen over against the sun. On the side whence the light of the moon comes forth, there again she wanes till all the light vanishes, and all the days of the month are at an end, and her circumference is empty, void of light. And 3 months she makes of 30 days, and at her time she makes 3 months of 20, 9 days each, in which she accomplishes her waning in the first period of time, and in the first portal for 177 days. And in the time of her going out, she appears for 3 months, 30 days each, and for 3 months she appears 29 each. At night she appears like a man for 20 days each time, and by day she appears like the heaven, and there is nothing else in her save her light. And now, my son, I have shown thee everything, and the law of all the stars of the heaven is completed. And he showed me all the laws of these for every day, and for every season of bearing rule, and for every year, and for its going forth, and for the order described to it every month and every week, and the waning of the moon which takes place in the sixth portal. For in this sixth portal her light is accomplished. And after that there is the beginning of the waning which takes place in the first portal in its season, till 177 days are accomplished, reckoned according to weeks, 25 and 2 days. She falls behind the sun and the order of the stars exactly 5 days in the course of one period. And when this place which thou seest has been traversed, such is the picture and sketch of every luminary, which Uriel the archangel, who is their leader, showed unto me. So a continuation from yesterday, and probably not a long reflection today, as he continues with information about the calendar and I guess how the sun and the moon operate and how they serve God by ministering to the people on earth. Ministry there, I understand to be serving, which is what ministry is. When someone is in ministry, that's everything to do with attending to the needs of those who have the needs. And the word is used in the passage that we read today, that the sun and the moon minister. But again, I believe the main point here is that all these things serve God Most High. He even points out in one of the verses that we read today that men find their heir by turning away from worshiping God and probably worshiping these things. Maybe this was written also to help steer people back to worshiping God, which is what I would hope it would do for all of us. And he does the same thing as he talks about the origins of the winds and the hoarfrost and the snow and the rain and all the various things that come on the earth as it relates to nature. It's interesting that he uses the phrase that some of these things bring blessing and prosperity, which again, I don't think has much to do with the material things that we are always looking forward to, money and cars and houses and all those things, but more so as it relates to God's favor on us as he grants to us all the things that we need for life. A verse that comes to mind is Matthew 5, verse 45, which says, he makes the sun rise on the evil and on the good, and also sends the rain on the just and the unjust. which basically means that God is the one that sends it all, and He's the one that is sovereign over sending it all. There's another verse, Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7, that speaks to this, but I'll read from verse 5 and go to verse 8. It says, I am the Lord, and there is no other. Apart from me, there is no God. I will strengthen you, though you have not acknowledged me, so that from the rising of the sun to the place of its setting, people may know there is none besides me. I am the Lord, and there is no other. And then verse 7, I form the light and create darkness. I bring prosperity and create disaster. I, the Lord, do all these things. You heavens above, rain down my righteousness, and let the clouds shower it down. Let the earth open wide. Let salvation spring up. Let righteousness flourish with it. I, the Lord, have created it. So there are many ways to understand those passages, but I think the central thing that is most important is that God is the one that is sovereign from all. And it seems like what Uriel is showing Enoch is that very thing, that all these things have a storehouse and a place that they originate from, and all of it is under God's control. They only come out, and that is disaster or plague or prosperity and blessing at the command of God. They are in full obedience to God. The sad thing is that men tend to create gods out of these things, especially in that time and probably today, but maybe in a different way. But back in the day, there were gods assigned to each of these things: a god of snow, a god of rain, a god of thunder, the sun god, the moon god, and so on and so forth. Where what Enoch is really trying to get at is all these things are just in obedience to the Most High. So, with that, I pray that we will continue to seek after Him who is the Most High God, who is God over all the things, all the luminaries, and all the earth, and all the universe, and that we would live in complete fear and awe of who He is in our lives, so that we can glorify Him with the things that we do, and glorify Him with the things that He's given us as well. Tomorrow we'll turn the page and continue in chapters 3 and 4 from book 4. But until then, happy reading. And always, I will say, remember to join us reading the Bible on that podcast in chronological order. And the information to follow along with that is in the description below. And it is also on our website at BIAYL.Project.com.